This is Dan Farisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. So happy to be joined today by my friend Chris Wildfoerster, who is Program Manager, Audio with Axis Communications. Topic of conversation is, of course, InfoComm 2025. It is coming up. All of us are excited. The industry is getting ready to gather in Orlando, and I'm looking forward especially to going to booth 2120 to check out Axis Communications and all its latest. A true industry-leading vendor, and that's why we invited Chris on to join us today and talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing at InfoComm. Thanks so much for joining me, Chris.
Well, thanks. Thanks for having us, Dan.
So let's get right into it. So, Chris, why would you say Axis Communications is exhibiting at InfoComm 2025 this year? And what are you personally most excited to be showcasing this year?
That's a good question. A lot of people at Access ask me about that because everybody knows Access, right, for our video products, our IP video cameras that we invented from the NetEye 20 plus years ago. Well, we've really expanded the audio portfolio, the IP audio portfolio that we offer today. We have a new display speaker that we'll talk about a little later, and we also have the D4200 strobe, which is very unique to the marketplace. But one thing to keep in mind, and one thing that we've realized is that audio is a natural extension of any security system out there. When you think about any public address, or you think about mass communications, or any mass notification platform, what typically is going to trigger any kind of notification of a facility-wide event? It's going to be the security system. Whether it's a camera, whether it's a speaker, whether it's an analytic, the odds are the security system is going to trigger those actions afterwards, event-dependent actions. And audio is just a natural extension of that system. So it just makes a lot of sense for us to really go deeper, if you will, into the audio industry.
So, Chris, let's burrow a little bit deeper into some of those products you just alluded to, specifically the C17 series and the VE4200. What can you tell me about them?
A few new products. We have the new C17 series, which is a display speaker, which is audio, strobe, as well as text, scrolling text capabilities for educational, healthcare, or any kind of verticals. That's available in a wall or corridor mount. And you also have a new D4200 VE, which is a strobe speaker. Now, strobe speakers have been around for a while, but this is unique in that you have 9 different color strobes that you can program in 22 different patterns. So we initially announced these products at ISC West a month ago, like I said, and the response has been phenomenal. We expect the same response from the InfoComm attendees.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. The InfoComm attendees are going to absolutely love it. So obviously, Access Communication plays in a lot of areas, has a lot of great technology. Do you think most people only know Access, though, for network surveillance cameras? If so, why do you think that's the case? And do you want to offer kind of a corrective for that?
You know, It's an interesting, and again, it's an interesting question. Why is Access selling IP audio? We're a video company. That's everybody knows Access for our video cameras. We invented the NetEye camera, the first IP camera in the surveillance industry 20 plus years ago, and we continue to lead that IP video initiative. But in order for us to expand our business and help our integrators offer a more complete solution, that's where we come into offering access control and VMS and audio and body cameras and other technologies on a regular basis. Really kind of broadens out the portfolio. And I think it comes down to a point too where people have really trust the Access brand. What does that mean? When they put it in, you get a 5-year warranty, and when you put Access in, it's going to stick. And when you take that Access brand and bring it into other products as part of a complete security or public address or mass communication solution, people are much more confident.
So speaking about that confidence aspect, it really does seem like Axis has a very partnership-driven mentality with your integrators, with your dealers. Do you want to talk about some of the ways in which Axis supports integrators, supports the channel? Because I know you really are focused on alignment with them.
Well, that's also a critical point, and where Access really strives to kind of lead the industry. We've got what I think about 600 employees in the U.S., and we have 19 experience centers, and these experience centers are full-blown demo centers with training capabilities, all of our cameras, all of our different technologies, all of our speakers, obviously, at each one of these centers, and any one of our integrators or consultants or end users are welcome to come in and experience the Access difference. From a tech support perspective, our folks there are second to none. They're there to really support our integrators as well as our end users and consultants. Again, the whole industry really kind of is dependent on that support, and it's even more important today. As the technology tends to grow with analytics and AI, right? As products become more technically advanced, that support really needs to be on top of the latest and greatest technologies right into the marketplace. And I think I know our tech support folks are constantly drilled and keep up to date on the new technologies.
Know that to be the case as well. And I can't wait to get to booth 2120 and check out all the latest from Axis across all your product offerings, all the different verticals that you serve. Do you want to talk, though, about some of the other activities at InfoComm that you might be particularly excited about? I heard a wind of maybe a manufacturer training that you could get an RU for attending.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, first off, as you mentioned before, we're booth 2120, right? So at the booth, we'll have all of our new products there. Like I said, the display speaker, as well as the new strobes and our complete audio portfolio line, as well as the cameras and VMS, and be able to show how it all actually integrates together. We do have a manufacturer's training, which is called AOA, which is Access Object Analytics at InfoComm. It's on June 11th at 2:30. And the InfoComm attendees, you guys can register online. It is a CTS it is accredited as CTS for one RU. And we also have a giveaway. We're giving away basically some Ray-Ban Meta sunglasses, which is pretty cool. So if nothing else, come by and drop your name in a hat, right? And get a pair of Meta sunglasses.
It is very, very cool. Anything you can do, Chris, to make sure that I win that contest? Because I'd love a pair of Ray-Bans.
Well, I don't know if we can do that, Dan.
I'm just kidding. I don't need that reason to go to 2120. I know people love that. It's a great promotion, but people are going to check out 2120 regardless because Axis always has the best stuff going on. Very, very cool technology. I can't wait to see you there and check out all the latest and greatest from Axis.
Well, Dan, thank you so much, and thanks for having me for this quick discussion here. I appreciate it. And again, with InfoComm, we look forward to it. I think this is like my 25th InfoComm or something like that. And every single year, it doesn't. There's always something exciting on the show floor. And this year, I think Axis is going to have a very exciting products and demonstrations to show.
I know that you will, and I'll be at 2120 to check it all out firsthand. Thank you so much, Chris Wildfoerster, Program Manager Audio with Axis Communications, for joining me today. Always good to catch up with you, my friend. I'll see you in Orlando in a few weeks. My name is Dan Farisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. Please keep your eyes on commercialintegrator.com in the days and weeks ahead as we get ever closer to InfoComm 2025, and we have more exciting thought leadership content from industry-leading vendors and the cool stuff they're going to be showing in Orlando. Thanks again, Chris, and we'll see you next time.